Hi, thanks for joining me for our prenatal class. I know this isn't the most ideal way for us to get together and do our regular prenatal classes. However, we do understand that you guys are still having your babies and that's not going to change. So we've got to find a way to stay connected and make sure that you still get your stretching in and that you still get some mindfulness in as well. So I do intend to make sure that you get to have your classes online. And if you got my email today, I did make a point that we will meet in Zoom and I will offer you some birthing classes so that you can help to prepare having your babies while we're in this situation. So why don't we just get started, roll out your mat. Due to copyright reasons for music, I didn't add any music in the background because I won't be able to post with the music. So when we do meet for these classes, consider having some music playing in the background for yourself. So with that, why don't we get started? And we're just going to come right down into our sitting position. Hello, thanks for joining. So let's get started. Just comes into sitting position. I want you to start to focus on your breath. And just let your shoulders relax. And just breathe in and breathe out. And I know it's been a very stressful week, so you want to just give yourself the opportunity now to just really center in and pay attention to how you're feeling, and maybe if there's a lot of stress there, use this time to really engage the breath. Just let your shoulders melt away from your ears and just soften and let go. Having to go into this place of silence and just really sitting with how you're feeling, recognizing the stress that you might be under that's you're giving to your baby as well. So really using the time to bring in neutral into your body. Good. We're just going to take a nice deep breath in and just reach those hands up and just give yourself a little press. Palms all the way up and just gently rocking from side to side. You want to start to feel the side body stretch all the way through. Good, and then let's just take our hands and let's just walk them out forward, bringing your fingers out to the front of the mat. So just walking your hands out, let your sit bones relax down into the mat. Take a nice deep breath in and just letting your forehead come down towards your chest. Good, and we're just going to take those hands, we're going to walk them all the way over to the right side and just dropping your forehead towards your knee. Taking your time, so with each exhalation, maybe you can walk those hands out a little bit further. And just taking this back to center, we're going to go all the way over to the other side. Just walk your hands out further. Let those fingers come out right in front of you. Soften your chest towards your knee. And just feel that stretch there all the way through your back. Good, we're just going to take it back to center. Let's bring our hands behind our backs and just lift your chest up. So we want to make lots of space for baby here. Lift your rib cage. Good, breathe in and out. And then coming into neutral here, let's take our right foot and just taking your right foot over your thighs. You want to just get right into those hips. Good, you want to just press forward here. Feel that stretch all the way through your hip. Let's do the other side. Just taking that foot, bring it all the way across. And just stretch forward. Breathing deep, walking those hands forward maybe. Just allow the hip to get a good stretch. Good, and then let's come up. And then let's bring our feet to touch here. And just finding your butterfly stretch. We want to just bring our feet to touch. And then just elbows out towards the knees. Folding forward. Good. And then let's release. So let's make our way up to tabletop. So coming into our hands and knees. And then we're just going to start to round our back. Okay, so just starting to curl your back up, chin to the chest. And then release that, looking up. Let your belly sink down, breathing deep. I'm just going to change the angle of my mat here so that you can see my alignment a little better. Good, breathing deep. You guys are going to have to bear with me until I work this out over the next couple of days. And then from here, let's take that right arm forward, left leg goes back. So coming into your balancing table, just holding it here. Nice deep breaths. Okay, then let that go. Let's take our balancing table on the other side. Trying to keep your fingers extended, toes extended outward. Good, and then let that go. Let's take our balancing table back on the other side. So extend that left leg back, right hand forward. Keeping your hips nice and neutral. So let's take our right hand now. Let's reach back. Let's grab a hold of the ankle here. Send the toes up. And then let it go. Other side. Actually feels good to stretch. After a few days of so much tension and uncertainty. Okay, we're going to reach back, grab a hold of your ankles, send those toes up. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your hips neutral to the floor here. Good, and then let that go. And then let's come into child's pose. So bring your toes together, keep your knees apart, and then just bringing your hands down. So you're just going to start to relax your forehead down to the mat. Okay, so you want to be mindful of what's happening here in your tailbone. You want to make sure that you're sinking downward. Open your knees wide so baby has lots of space between the knees here. Okay, nice deep breathing. And then let's come into downward dog. So pressing into your hands, we're going to lift the tailbone up high. So in your first downward dog, you want to just start bending those knees back and forth. Lift up high, bend those knees, breathe deep. Good, and then let's let it go. Let's come back into our child's pose. So just bringing your toes to touch your knees apart. Relax back down. Okay, breathe, soften your shoulders. And then let it go. Let's come back up into downward dog. Lift your sit bones high. Then bend those knees back and forth. Good, let's start to walk our feet forward. So you're going to come into a forward fold. So just walking your feet back to the front of the mat. Just let your hands start to relax towards your toes. Breathe deep. start to inhale. So let's just start to come up. Bring our hands all the way up high. Interlace your fingers, press your palms all the way up. Good, and then just bring your hands into heart center. Just take a moment here. Feel your feet sinking into the mat. Okay, and just soften your shoulders. Stay with the breath. And then let's do this again. Reach those hands all the way up high. Big breath in. And then exhale. Let's fold forward. So moving into sun A, we're going to step our feet back into plank. Make that straight line. Holding your plank pose here. Straight through the arms. Drop those knees. Let's find child's pose. Downward dog. Press into your hands. Lift your tailbone up high. And then let's walk those feet back to the front of the mat. Reach those hands all the way up high. Big breath in. Draw your hands into heart center. Okay, relax those shoulders. Breathe deep. When you're ready, let's reach those hands all the way back up high. Exhale, let's fold forward. Good. And then step back. Find plank. Let's get strong through those shoulders. And then sink down. Find child's pose. Downward dog. Walk your feet forward. Inhale, let's raise those hands high. Big breath in. And draw your hands in. Okay, let's do that again. One more time. Let's reach up. Hands high. Big breath in. Give yourself that nice big stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Good. We're going to step back. Find your plank. Get nice and strong through your shoulders. And child's pose. Sink it down. Open your knees wide. Downward dog. Good. And then just walking your feet back to the front of the mat. Let's inhale. Hands up high. Big breath in. And just bringing those hands into heart center. Okay, so from here, let's move into our triangle pose. We're going to step that left foot back. So take a nice big step. So you know, if you're in prenatal class, you want to keep those feet wide. Oh, I just got to adjust my camera here. Hold on a sec. So let's take our triangle pose here. So you want to make sure you're keeping both those knees straight. So at the studio, you would have your block. So just make sure that when you're tuning in next time, and if you need a block, you've got something here that you can use. Okay? So we're going to just take that right hand, bring it down, left hand up high. So let's start to watch that alignment. Very difficult because I can't see what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you've got your shoulders in line and you're opening up your hip towards the ceiling. Get that nice stretch in here. Give baby lots of space. Good. And then we're going to lift it up. And then let's exalt our triangle. So just dropping your left hand back. Right hand goes up. Bring those fingers up. Breathe deep. And then let's release. Hand comes down. Reach it up high. Okay, so let's take this into a forward fold here. Just turning your hips to the front edge of the mat. Lengthen your spine. You want to make sure you're keeping a nice flat back. Shoulders are back. Good. And then let's come up. Let's step our feet together. Okay, so let's step the other foot back now. Let's do our triangle on the other side. So stepping your foot back. Okay, we're going to just make sure that we've got those hips aligned to the side edge of the mat, arms up, and holding your triangle. Let's open the shoulders, stack those hips, breathe deep. Okay, just take your time. Find that comfortable place for you to come down. Good. And then let's exalt that triangle. So bringing this hand down, this one's going to come up and over. Stay with the breath. You want to get that nice side body stretch. And then let's release that down. Okay, let's take our forward fold. So just bringing your hands down, and you're going to just start to work that stretch here. So I'll take it from here. And then from here, you're just going to work that stretch. Just stay on the side that you were on. Just easier for the camera for me to switch my side. Okay, lengthen here, breathe deep. Good. And then let's lift up. Let's take it back to the front of the mat. Okay, just take a nice deep breath in and out. Good. And then from here, we're going to take a step out to the side edge. I want both your hips now facing side edge of the mat. Send those feet forward. Okay, so when you're ready here, I want you to just hinge at the hips. We're just going to start to work this into a nice forward fold, bringing those hands down to the mat. So let's try to focus on keeping our back nice and flat. So I want to make sure that you're not rounding. Extend out. Let those hands come down and breathe deep. Good. Just pay attention to your breath. And then let's inhale. Sink those knees down. I want you to press those knees out towards your baby toes. Sink it down nice and low. Open up the chest. Really engage your breath. Good. And then straighten your knees. Let's go down. Let's go forward here again. Lengthen out through the top of the head. Breathe deep. Okay, and we're going to start getting ready for our frog pose. We're going to just start to drop those knees down to the mat. I want you to take your toes out wide. Okay, so just make sure that your feet are coming out wider than your knees. And then we're going to just take those elbows down to the floor. And then just start to send your tailbone back. Then just stay with the breath. Okay, you want to just start pressing back. Make sure that you're breathing nice and deep. Good. And then let's come out of that. Okay, and then let's slowly take this back. Find your cat-cow stretch here again. Let's stretch out our backs. Back and forth. Breathe deep. Really working through your cat and cow. Good. Nice deep breath in and out. Okay, back to your downward dog. Pressing through those hips. Lift the sit bones up nice and high. Okay, just walk your feet forward. Let's come back to the front of the mat and just reach those hands all the way up high. Big breath in. Okay, we're going to just take those hands into heart center. So let's just focus on working some balancing positions here. So we're going to just start with tree. Okay, we're just going to start to take that left leg up high. So when you're comfortable, either placing it in your shin or into your inner thigh. Just take your time here, raising those hands up above your head. Stay with the breath. Good. And then let's release our hands. Let's just take our hand onto our ankle. We're going to reach that opposite hand up high. Just starting to work a gentle dancer's pose here as you send those toes back. Breathing deep. Awesome. And then let it go. Okay, let's take it on the other side. So just bringing your foot in. Take your time. Bring that foot in, hands in. Stay with the breath. And then let's bring those hands up. Good, breathe deep. Good stuff. And then from here, just releasing your hands. Grab a hold of your ankle. Send those toes back. Reach those fingers forward and hold. Really send those toes back. Good, and then just step your feet together. And just take a breath here. So let's take this into warrior two. So we're gonna step that left foot back and just sending your knee forward, arms up. Okay, holding warrior two. So I want you to make sure that you're lining your hips to the side edge of the mat. Keep those arms up. Let's try to open up our inner thigh, so moving your knee up towards your baby toe. And then let's drop this hand, reach up. Nice deep breathing. Create that side stretch. So as you're lifting your fingers, make sure that you're moving your knee forward as much as you can. Really engage the breath. And then take it back to your warrior two. And let's drop the knee down. Open this up to your side angle stretch. Really reach up. So use this here to open this knee out towards your baby toe. Breathing deep. Awesome. And then release. Okay, let's step the other side. So take your warrior two. Oh, I think there's a message there. So from here, let's take the other side. Open it up. Okay, open that knee up towards your baby toe. Hands up, breathe deep. And then just drop in your backhand. Let's reach that front hand up high. Send your knee forward. You want to focus on getting that side body stretch here. Good. And then take it back. So let's take this into our extended side angle and just dropping your elbow down. Reach up, open the chest, stay with the breath. So make sure that you're opening up through the heart center and stacking those hips, and want the knee to move towards the baby toe. Good. And then release. And then from here, let's step it back to the front of the mat. And then let's just start to move it downwards. We're going to start to release. Ragdoll that out, let it go. Let your hands work their way down towards the toes and just soften those shoulders. Let yourself release. Big breath in and out. Good. And then from here, we're just going to bring our hands to the mat, step back, find your plank. Really engage here. Just take a moment in your plank. Stay with the breath. And then let's drop those knees to the mat and find your child's pose. Tailbone sinks down towards your heels. You want to make sure that you're softening your tailbone down towards your heels. Good. And then let's come up onto the knees. So let's take a back bend here. So we're just going to take our hands into the lower back and just starting to work your camel. So hands into the lower back. Let's open up the chest. I want you to feel the chest roll back. Breathe deep. Good. And then let that go. Let's take this back into our child's pose. Okay, and again, let's bring the hands back. Open the chest, look up. Breathing deep. So you want to just start moving those elbows towards each other and let the chest lift up away from the hips. Good stuff. And then bring it back. Again, undo that. Find child's pose. Undo that back bend here. Just counterposing the lower back. Good. And then we're going to just come up onto the knees. So let's just start to work our hamstring stretches and our lunges. So just taking your right foot out. So give yourself lots of space here. Take a big step. And then we're just going to fold into that. Okay, nice deep breath in and out. Good. Just letting your chest relax down towards your front thigh. Just taking your time. Okay, we're just gonna walk that knee, or just send your knee forward. So find that 90-degree angle here between your knee and your ankle. And let's just bring those hands down and just starting to work your lunge. So holding your lunge. Okay, and if you're comfortable, you're just gonna start working those elbows down towards the mat. Okay, nice deep breaths. Just take your time here, breathing nice and deep. Let your body sink into that. Good. And then take it back to your hamstring stretch. Let's just stretch that knee out here again. Fold forward. Okay, let's come up. Let's take our other leg forward. So we're just finding your hamstring stretch and just pressing your knee. Straighten your leg, fold forward. Good, breathing deep. Take your time here. Let that leg go nice and straight. Keep lengthening your spine. And then let's send that knee forward, find your crescent lunge. Okay, so as you're holding your crescent lunge, you're either going to stay here with your hands on the mat, or you can go ahead and start to bring those elbows down. Nice deep breaths. Let your shoulders sink into that. Good. And then from here, let's just start to straighten that knee. Lift the sit bones back. Good. And then send it back. Press into your hands, downward dog. Okay, bend those knees back and forth. And then let's take that right leg up. And then we're going to send that knee forward. And just find your pigeon. And just breathe. Let your hips sink down. So in your pigeon, you want to make sure that you come straight lying down. And then extend that leg back. Make sure your knee is out to the side edge of the mat. Okay, and just soften your shoulders. Let's take a few breaths. Just enjoying the silence, whether you're at home, wherever you are. Yoga, you can take on your mat anywhere now while we're going online. Good. And then just slowly lift it back up. Come right up onto your fingertips and lift your chest. And then downward dog, stretch that out. Back and forth. Okay, let's take that other leg up high, just getting ready for pigeon. Send that foot back and then just send your knee forward. Good, and just releasing here. So we're sending that foot all the way back. Square your hips to the mat. And then just relax. Relax your shoulders. Nice deep breathing. And then let's walk those hands up towards the knees, lift up. Good. And then let's sit down, take those legs straight. Let's get prepared for our forward bends. So take your heels out, nice straight legs. Keep your feet together for our first forward fold, and then you're just going to fold into that. Lengthen up through the spine. You want to try to focus on keeping your spine nice and straight. Okay, breathe, and just let your body relax a little bit deeper as you go into that stretch. Good, and then come up, let's go wide. And then let's just start to press forward here. Okay, keep your toes up, so keep your feet active. You want your feet really flexing towards your face. Spine is straight, lengthen forward. Take your time, and as your body releases, maybe you can come down a little further. Good, and then let's come up. Let's bring that right foot in. We're just going to start to fold forward. And just taking your time, lengthen the spine. You want to try to keep your sit bones down. Work this knee towards the floor as you fold forward. Really get into your hips. Good, and then let's come up, bring your foot across, and then we're just going to bring our elbow to the knee and turn away from the knee. Sit up tall. So you want lots of space for your baby as you turn inside. Okay, sit tall, work that rotation. Breathe, and then let's do the other side. So bringing that other foot in, take your foot, just bring it to the outside, sit tall and forward. We're going to just start to turn away from the knee. Okay, sit tall. Good, and then release. So from here, bring your feet to touch, elbows to your knees, butterfly, and just fold forward. Stretch that out. Really press those knees towards the floor. Good, and then let's come onto our back. So once you come onto your back, I want you to bring your knees into your chest, and you're just going to start to make tiny little circles from side to side. Rounding out, massaging out your back. Good, and then just place your right foot on the mat, and then let's take that left foot, lift it up high. Okay, so let's try to keep this knee nice and straight. Soften the shoulders. Good, and then we're just going to drop the ankle and then just bring this knee in, other leg comes up. Okay, so you want to just make sure that you're grasping behind your thigh, lifting up, just keep that leg up nice and straight. Good, and then let it go. Let's take the other leg, set that leg up. Okay, so focus on keeping your knee nice and straight. We want to exhale those shoulders down into the mat. Just keep your body nice and relaxed. and then cross over, bring your other leg up. Take your time here, breathe deep, and just let those shoulders relax. Okay, and then we're going to release. We're going to press those feet into that. Let's just come up into our bridge, really pressing down into the soles of your feet. We want to get those hips to lift up. Round those shoulders under your back. Good, let it go. And then let's take our right foot in for half a happy baby. So just dropping your right foot down. Just feel that knee coming down in towards your chest. Good, and then other side. Bring that foot up and bring your knee in towards your inside of your chest here, towards your armpit, and just let that foot come down. You want your base of your foot to be parallel to the ceiling. Really sink those shoulders down into the mat. And then we're going to take both those feet up. Okay, happy baby. Keep your feet parallel, knees in towards the armpits, shoulders are relaxed. Good. And then one more time, let's take it into bridge. Press into your feet, lift those hips up. Really breathe, engage those hips. Good, and then just drop those hips, knees into the chest, tiny little circles. Okay, so from here, you can either roll onto your left side and come in to finish your class in relaxation, or you can come up to sitting with me for a few breaths. So obviously this was our first class, so I don't have everything organized as far as YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and lighting and camera and angles, so you gotta bear with me as we try to make this right over the next few weeks so that you still can enjoy your prenatal class. I am putting together a Zoom class where we would meet online on Zoom, and that's for our paid members that have put money into memberships, and obviously we can't meet at the studio. And I'd like to do the Zoom classes twice a week. You know, they'd be about 30 minutes where we can come together and we can discuss some of your birthing options, birthing tips, do some exercises, more of a community where you guys can have an opportunity to ask some questions and share some ideas and really get ready for labor and not feel like you're in isolation, but we can come together as mothers-to-be. And I can help guide you into your pregnancies and into the upcoming birth that's for some of you around the corners, for some of you in the summer. But really create an online place where, you know, you're not going to feel so alone, and we're going to make sure that you still have the best possible births that you can have. In the meantime, if you are at home, read my book, Yoga Birth Method. It's on Amazon. It's a really good read that will get you prepared, and a lot of the exercises that we do are in that book. And I will organize an online birthing class for couples because I know that some of you are registered to take a birthing class with me, and we will do that through online as well, where we can come in together and still get your birthing class done for you. So when you're ready with that, let's just take a few moments. Just close your practice, take a few breaths. Just soften your shoulders. Just really be mindful. We're not in a situation to really change our circumstances, but we do have the ability to change the way we're going to live our lives every day mentally and physically. We still have the ability to come onto our mats and practice, and just to be centered and still and leave all the chaos outside of our minds. And when you're ready, you're just going to reach those hands all the way up high. And then just bringing your hands into heart center. Namaste. So So if you are on my email list, I'll send you an email with an update, or just like this page, and I will keep the updates regular here. And I'll try to do that for Instagram as well. And have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30. Bye, everybody.